morning to all of you. My name is Vinu Venkatesh and welcome you all again to one of my lectures on English. And we're going to start off with where we left last time, which is basically the rules of the nouns. So this would be my lecture 6 and let's get started right away. Alright, now let's take a look at a sentence. Despite promising many a time before elections, the poor does not get what is required. Well, there are two errors in this sentence. First of all, I'd just like to say that in English, when we say many plus a, it is always followed by a singular noun. But when we say many plus a noun, the noun should be in the plural form, because many means more than one, obviously, right? So obviously the noun has to be in the plural form, but the expression many plus a is followed by a singular noun all the time. All right, so how do we correct this? Despite promising many a times before election, the poor do not get what is required. Now, poor refers to a group of people, right? So obviously the verb following poor must also be in the plural form, and that's why we say the poor do not get what is required instead of saying the poor does not get what is required as was given in the original sentence. All right, now let's take a look at another example. You should be able to tell me this. We can't master the physics or chemistry unless we learn all the formula that govern it. Now there are two errors in this sentence. As we have discussed before, physics and chemistry are names of subjects, right? So they can be used as proper nouns or they can also mean abstract nouns. Well, whether they are proper nouns or abstract nouns, they cannot be preceded by an article. We all know that, correct? So the first error is we cannot say the physics or chemistry, we have to say physics or chemistry. Second, look at the second half of the sentence. It says, unless we learn all the formula that govern it. Now, because the word all is used, we know that we are referring to the plural. So what is a plural of formula? Formula is in the singular form, correct? So what is a plural of formula? It's not formulas, it is formulae. So then how do we correct this sentence? We say, we can't master physics or chemistry unless we learn all the formulae that govern it, right? Very simple, but these are certain rules that we ought to know. Next example. The judge sentenced the criminal to 5 years of jail, saying that the iron of the prisoner should not be removed. Now, iron, what is iron? Iron is nothing but a metal, but in this case, it refers to all the shackles or the chains or the handcuffs that the prisoner is wearing. We refer to that as irons, not iron, all right? So how do we correct this sentence? The judge sentenced the criminal to 5 years of jail, saying that the irons of the prisoner should not be removed, right? Now, another example. With the declining GDP in view, the government is in dilemma whether to start a new scheme for the marginal farmers or not. In English, the expression of using dilemma is in a dilemma. I am in a dilemma. It's wrong to say I am in dilemma, right? So how do we correct this? We just say, with the declining GDP in view, the government is in a dilemma whether to start a new scheme for the marginal farmers or not. Simple, correct? Okay, next one. This is one of the most common mistakes made by all of us, including myself. I used to make this mistake, but now I don't. The English teacher suggested that all the pupils learn at least one poetry a day to develop language skills. When we say the English teacher, to use English correctly, this would mean that the teacher is English, meaning the teacher is hailing from Britain. But all that we're trying to say here is that this is a teacher teaching the subject English. So whenever we refer to language teachers, it is wrong to say it is an English teacher, it is a Hindi teacher, it is a Chinese teacher. No, we have to say the teacher of English, the teacher of Hindi, the teacher of Chinese, and so on. So we say the teacher of English suggested that all pupils learn at least one poetry a day to develop language skills. Having said this, it's correct to say a geography teacher or a history teacher, because there geography and history refer only and only to a subject. It's not a language, it's not a country, it's not a nationality. So it is correct to say a geography teacher, a chemistry teacher, a history teacher, and so on. But when you're referring to teachers teaching specific languages, it should always be the teacher of English, the teacher of French, the teacher of German, and so on. Next example. There were a large number of unmanned aircrafts on the runway. Now here, aircraft is like the word police. It has no plural, right? The singular and the plural are the same. So the plural of aircraft is aircraft. So we have to correct the sentence by saying there were a large number of unmanned aircraft on the runway. Okay, that's just the way it is. It is a rule that you have to memorize. The wall is 50 foot high. This is a wrong way of saying. The correct way of saying is the wall is 50 feet high. This is like saying this boy is 5 years old. Correct? We never say that this boy is 5-year-old. We can say this is a 5-year-old boy, but we'll never say that this boy is 5-year-old. This boy is 5 years old. So we have to say the wall is 50 feet high. I'll tell you why. The unit of measurement foot is in the singular form. Feet is its plural form. So here the wall is 50 feet high. So 50 is obviously more than 1, correct? So we have to use the unit of measurement also in the plural form to say that the wall is 50 feet high. Now tell me if this is right. This is a 50 feet high wall. In this case, even though the wall is 50 feet high, we cannot say that this is a 50 feet high wall. We have to say that this is a 50-foot high wall, because this is like saying this is a 5-year-old boy. Okay, here we are using it as a descriptive word. It is an adjective. It is not necessary. It is not a noun. When we are saying the wall is 50 foot high, okay, we are using it as a noun, but here we are using it as an adjective. So that's why it has to be this is a 50-foot high wall. Now, next example. There were a great many questions asked by the reporters to the minister. Again, be very careful in reading these questions. In reading this question, there were a great many questions asked by the reporters to the minister. Whenever we have terms like a great many, a good many, we should always follow it with plural nouns. That's just the way the expression is. All right? So how do we correct this? Again, there were a great many questions asked by the reporters to the minister. There were many questions asked by the reporters to the minister. That is also correct. There were many a question asked by the reporters to the minister. The meaning is slightly different. All right, that's all. You have to understand the meaning and the intention of the sentence, and also know the commonly used and the correct version of expressions that we have to use while speaking English. Now, similarly, women after women protested that day. Now this, in such a case, we never use the plural form of the noun. We always use the singular. So it becomes woman after woman protested that day. Man after man hunted animals on that day, for example, right? In such expressions, we have to use a singular noun plus a plus singular noun. That is just the way the expression is structured. Next example. I am not able to find my next example. Just give me a minute. Yes, the practices of lawyers are different from those of doctors. Now, practices means methods or processes, but practice refers to the profession. In this case, it is used to mean the profession. So in such a case, we have to use it in the singular form. So we have to say the practice of lawyers is different from that of doctors. Why? Because practice is a profession, right? And lawyers is just one profession. It's not many. Lawyers and doctors are two different professions, are two different practices, but lawyers is one practice, is one profession. Therefore, it has to be in the singular form. All right? Now, we come to the last example. After every fiasco, every means are good if the end is good. So here, fiasco means pleasure. I beg your pardon, fiasco means failure. So what they're saying is, after every fiasco, every means, that is every available opportunity or every available resource is good if the end is good. So if the end result is good, then the means, the process or the methods that we use to make those ends is good only if the end is good. All right, that is the meaning of means in this word. Now, since we are using the word every, we have to follow means by a singular verb. So we say, even after a fiasco, every means is good if the end is good. You have to understand the correct use, the terminology, and also the intention of each expression or word in English. So this brings us to the end of the topic on nouns. We will be starting with the pronouns in our next lecture. So if you have any questions or comments, please do put it in the comment box and let me know. I'll be more than happy to get back to you. Until then, I wish you all the very best and have a good day. Bye-bye.